Hello, and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. I have some examples for you today. Last time I was looking at a book called The King's Fifth by Scott Odell, and I mentioned how historical fiction sort of breathes life into the story. The characters, the times, the decision making, you get a feeling like you're there, and that happens also with plays, productions, where you've got actual people on stage who are acting out the stories. So here's some examples I'd like to share with you, sort of chronologically. The first one takes place in the time of Henry II, and it's called Becket. Then there's one about Pizarro called The Royal Hunt of the Sun by Peter Shafter. One about Luther by John Osborne. Now we're up to the time of Henry VIII, A Man for All Seasons, referring to Thomas More. Life of Galileo. Here's a Life of Galileo. Someone else translated it. It was very interesting from my point of view to try to compare the two. Even right at the start there were differences, and it's like the old where you'd tell a little story to somebody and they would tell it to the next person, and as it gets translated it comes around and sometimes you don't even recognize it at the end. Major Barbara by Bernard Shaw. R.C. Sharif's Journey's End about the First World War. The Diary of Anne Frank about Second World War. I have a hardcover copy here of it by Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett. And perhaps a bit like Danny Dunn, they had a great time working together and researching it and putting it into place. Mysteries is another way. My oldest son told me that he enjoyed A Murder for Her Majesty. It's by Beth Highgarter, H-I-L Hilgarter, G-A-R-T-N-E-R, and I enjoyed it. I shared with 10-year-olds A Mask for the Queen, Mask being a play that was put on for the Queen as she would tour around the states in the summer, and one of the things that they would prepare would be a presentation. And Jeffrey Treese writes a lot of historical fiction. Jane Oliver. This is a book about William Tyndale, the man who translated from the Greek the Bible into English. I suspect it's more available in Latin, but I guess he figured the same thing. Let's go back to the first and take it from whatever the first was. Might be less changes happened to say taking it from the Latin. I don't know. Jane Oliver. That book might be pretty hard to find. This will be a little bit easier. It's a Scott Odell book, and The Hawk That Dared Not Hunt by Day. I found it a gripping tale, eye-opening tale during Henry VIII's time. Tyndale spent time in England, but he also spent time in Holland, where his book was being published. So somebody got this idea, maybe it was Scholastic, to take princesses, famous princesses, and have a biography written of them. So this is the one for Queen Elizabeth. It takes place in 1544, 1545, and it's well, I think it's extremely well done. Catherine Lasky was chosen to write it. There are other princesses, might be from Russia, might be from Hawaii, might be from China, might be from South Africa, Spain, etc. A really neat idea, I thought. This is a book I haven't read, but I wanted to share it with you because at some point, if I'm blessed enough to live long enough, I hope to at least see if it's going to be a good book. I can usually tell after the first few chapters. Elizabeth and the Prince of Spain, because of that story we talked about where Philip II proposed to Elizabeth. So this again, my oldest son tipped me off to these P.F. Chisholm mysteries. They take place in the time of Queen Elizabeth, and they're just rousing tales. A Famine of Horses, A Season of Knives. Now, P.F. Chisholm, her real name is Patricia Finney, and she added Chisholm to it then for these books because she'd already written some other books by her name, Patricia Finney. Surfeit of Guns, A Plague of Angels. So Queen Elizabeth figures in a lot on the Scottish border. Shakespeare's in one of the books. Now, because of the success of these, she may have been approached to write something for, say, 14-year-olds. This is called Assassin. This is called Betrayal. And this one's called Conspiracy. And as you can see, if I get them in the right order, ABC, she didn't write a D or an E, but she did do an F, Feud, and others have filled in some more of the alphabet. I don't really know how far the alphabet's been taken, but it's an interesting tale. It's told, or it was a diary of Grace Cavendish, who is a maid of honor, a lady who waits on Princess Elizabeth. Daily life in Holland, about the same time. Elizabeth is queen. It's about 30 years after Tyndall died. And this is because Tyndall was in Holland, and he mentioned about that people still died from the Black Death. This book has a solution, many solutions that people came up with to capture rats and do away with them. So the book is illustrated and told in translation by Reenport Fleet, who did the illustrations for the Gnomes books. But anything by Reenport Fleet that I've come across has just been amazing. A book on dogs, a book on the forest. I'll spell his name for you. Poortvliet. Well, Thanks for joining me. Until next time, bye for now.